What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. Oh, you got two screens going again, Heat Override? Well, I got none other than, what's your name? Introduce yourself, my brother.
Ace Mez, what's going on, my man?
Yeah, man, it's Mez. So, man, we're gonna get right into it. So you're looking to go forward and get into stuff like that. But you know, what do you do? I know that we talked about this behind the back. What do you do daily? I know it has to involve something with podcasts. So go ahead and talk about that.
Well, I do a lot of graphic designing,
Ooh,
video work. Um, I've always been listening to podcasts for a while. That's how we
mhm.
kind of met, right?
That is correct. That is correct. I mean, we could pop it a little. We could combine these two. So look at it this way. One day we were literally just randomly doing our job, and we both got into an elevator. So for
Yeah.
all of the listeners out there, this is just random moment, and we're just smashing our day, right? Because that's what delivery drivers do.
Yeah.
Wherever you work for, FedEx and
On the
stuff like that.
go, on the go, go.
Yeah, yeah, you're shoving stuff in your mouth. That's why you love Little Caesars pizza so
Oh,
much.
the best. Hot
I
and
do.
ready.
I love it too. I ain't
Now
gonna
it's up
lie.
to $7 though. They ain't that $5 crap anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At that point, you might as well go Esther Smells Bestest.
I know, right? Yeah.
So for everybody to know, that's how we met. We literally got into the elevator, and I'm always just straight running my mouth. So I was just like, yeah, podcast is a great thing. And then Pot of Thunder literally was dropped between us, man. You were listening to the same fucking episode,
Yeah.
dude.
I think it was like a Monday morning. They just put out a new episode.
Was dude, and that's like so fate. So what got you into the Pot of Thunder?
Oh, I was on vacation down in Florida.
Mhm.
I was sitting by the pool and I was looking, and I love Kiss, and
Yeah.
I think I just typed in Kiss on Apple Podcasts, the app, and I looked at it. I think they only had like 20 some episodes out at the
Ooh,
time. I think they just did the ladies' room episode was the first one I listened
okay.
to.
So
It
you're
was
like OG is.
yeah, pretty early, and I
Yeah.
think it was Andy's bachelor party,
Oh,
and I was like, I'm hooked on this.
so I actually popped in right when Nick took his hiatus around the 90s. So that's when I got, and then they were like playing it off, and I didn't understand what was going on
Oh yeah, I
because I
guess
had not
that
listened.
was around like COVID, right?
Yeah, right before, right before. So I
Yeah,
want to say this is
yeah.
around the 90s in their catalog. And
Uh,
so exactly the same way I've been listening to a podcast, No Mercy, for my dude Tommy G, and he kind of that's where kind of like started my podcast here because I used to do Sirius XM. I would call in, they would give me 60 seconds, they would call it Bring the Pain Rob. That's what they would say. And then eventually, Dr. Roto put the whole thing out. So that was like the best thing right there was like, all right, so let's do this whole podcast.
mhm.
And I was sitting there on Podbean and I was just like, I wanted just like you. I was like, I need something with Kiss because me and my family got into Kiss really big when they came to Erie. The wife got a couple tickets, so I went with the in-laws.
The most
And
recent one,
yes, yeah, the most
16,
recent
I
one.
think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep, 2016. So we went there and I was just like, look, this was just a hell of a time. And I was way up. So I came home. And before I, of course, went to the concert, I had to get in concert mode, right? We all get in concert
Right.
mode.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Couple beers, do what you do,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
some Kiss
Little
music on or whatever.
pregame. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. So that's exactly what happened is I kept playing Kiss music for 2 3 hours, went to the concert, came home. A couple days later, daughter's like, yo, listen to this. And it was I Love It Loud. But I
Yeah.
was
Your
like,
daughter's a pretty big Kiss fan, right?
yes, 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 she is. I mean, she's
Cool.
done the whole dress up. The
Yeah.
uh the
I
second
remember
year
that.
we did Paul Stanley, she actually got highlighted by Kiss in their
Wow.
like kids thing.
Yeah. That's. Oh, I think I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we probably posted it everywhere.
Yeah. I would have too.
Yeah, that's just amazing. But since then, I got close at the Niagara Falls show, but that the last show I actually seen was before the lockdown was the Darien Lake one. And I gotta say, we got because we were there so early, everybody goes to Darien Lake. Well, we were first in line, and the lady was like, hey, they're doing ticket upgrades. If you run in, there's a guy on the field. So I looked at the wife and I'm like, go get the beer. And I'm like, I
For
was
the
like,
goods, I'll go get
yeah,
this.
I was like, ain't no one outrunning me. I was like, ain't no way. So I
Yeah.
ran, got it. One of the best experiences, man. But that's exactly how I found it. I got right into it. I hit it. And then right shortly after, they did my Cemetery Gates episode that I had submitted, which I thought
Oh,
was really awesome.
it's a good
So
song.
so give me a little bit about going off of that. I talked about a few Kiss concerts, a few things, and I talked about, getting in because we know that they have played some of your songs. So talk about that.
Yeah, let's see. They did the what was the Peter? They did the Peter Chris. I submitted the
Ooh,
oh, Bad Attitude off
yep.
his solo album, and I think I
Mhm.
got a sticker for that because they picked my song.
See, I got my song picked before they did the stickers.
I know, yeah,
I got Jude.
yeah. You'll talk to Andy.
Yeah, yeah. And those guys are great. So go on, keep talking.
I mean, they've turned me on to so many songs. Clones by Alice Cooper, that was on one of
Mhm.
them.
Oh yeah.
Supersonic by Oasis, that's like one of my in my top 10 now.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did
I
that.
gotta agree with that one, dude. I like that song too. And
I never
sometimes
heard it before that show, and I was like, dude, this is
Mhm.
killer.
Dude,
Um,
that Bruno Mars song, I never heard it before that I mean, before the Lou Rawls show.
oh
I
yeah,
never heard it. And
yeah,
that's my
yeah.
jam. I love R&B, kickback, New Jack Swing stuff.
Well, that's what I like about that show. They don't go for the hits. They kind of go a little deeper,
The
which is
deep
always cool.
cuts.
I'm a
That's
big
good.
cut guy.
I know you are. I know you are because I think that you have a huge, huge love for Ace.
Oh,
And
my boy, Ace.
it is. I mean, you got the tattoo too.
Yeah, a
So,
couple. Where's it at?
oh, you got a couple.
Oop, you see it?
There it is. That one. Yep. Yep. That's
Um,
it right there.
Ace.
And that, yep.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just great being part of them. So I actually drew up a Kiss tattoo. I have knocked out. I only passed up the Kiss tattoo for my Bring the Pain right there
Oh right,
because
yeah, yeah.
I had to. I was like,
That's
I
your
put my,
thing, yeah.
so I did that. And so I drew it guitar down into the pearl drum, pearl with Kiss
Right.
written in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you go up the neck and no strings, just straight neck. And then like if you find those little circles on the internet where they're like all different, like it's all four of them. But then
They're
like
icons.
yeah, yeah, they're icons.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Right up the neck. Boom, done. And that came off of the idea of my daughter because one night, I was like, what would be the perfect Kiss tattoo? She said you have to have the drums, the logo with the guitar. And
I
so of
like the
course,
drum part. That's kind of that's. But you're right. When you see Peter Chris's metal
yeah,
drum, yeah, the
you
pearl.
got, yeah, dude. See, that's the craziest stuff. That's what like little stupid stuff like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you just share. So yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna put that one right there.
That's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. When are you gonna do that?
Well, Dave Steele came back to Erie about last year, and I missed him. Just bad timing and everything. So when he comes back to Erie and does one of his "Hey Erie, I'm coming to
Yeah.
tattoo," that's when it's
Okay.
gonna go down.
Cool, cool. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see that.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'll send you an image of it
Okay.
prior so that you could just look at it and stuff with
Yeah,
the
I
ref.
got these. I got the rose, Paul Stanley's rose, and
Oh,
then
dude.
that's Peter Chris's drum.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to get like a. I wanted to do something with the icons too. I was thinking maybe on my leg or something,
Yeah.
just four icons, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll be something. Have to.
Yeah, I mean, like, is that do you do it like here? Have it like it's like a necklace, so when you wear a tank top that day, you just have it like coming across your chest. It's one of those weird things that
Yeah,
you just kind of like, what do you really develop into? That's like the whole tattoo thing. So,
yeah, right, right. I know. Yeah, they're like potato chips too. Once you get one, it's like,
yeah, Lays, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, that's the thing that really brought us together was Pod of Thunder. And you talk about them talking with a lot of their fans, and then the recent creation of the Pod of Thunder stand group
I love it. It's
is wild.
just fun. It's yeah, I've been in other Kiss groups and they
Mhm.
get so serious about stuff and
Yeah, yeah.
nobody's really, too what's the word? Too strict on.
Overzealous.
Yeah, 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 that's good.
Overzealous. Well, it's like that with Star Wars too. If you get them EU people, which I've read the books, I've read them all through like Abeloth and things like that. So it's like I
Really?
know that, but I accept what Disney does. But man, there's just some people that just it's like Satan to them. They just want to stay
You
away.
you read the old Heir to the Empire books with Thrawn and
So I haven't did a lot of
oh,
Thrawn. I actually have not did a lot of Thrawn. So I did like a whole bunch of things. Like I did the Millennium Falcon book that was just separate, which I thought that was really cool.
mm,
And I did a lot of these audio book wise too, because of course, I was always in the
yeah,
truck just like you.
right.
So,
Mhm.
I could flip them in, go down to the library, get it free and do it. So that's how I got through a lot of them. I listened to over 40 of them. Just the Fate of the Jedi series, the end
Yeah,
one with Abeloth and everybody comes together and it's just nuts. That's like 13 CDs or something like it's like
yeah.
13 books. It's
Check those
insane.
out. Well, when you said Abeloth, I was like, I knew you knew what you were talking about.
Oh, so usually when we mention that on Flying Casual, we slam beers, but I don't have a beer near me
We can
yet.
do that next time.
We will do that. We will do that. So that kind of gets into it. The Crazy Pot Nation, episodes like Caribbean Cove,
I,
Fredbear.
I when you brought that up, that we talk about that. I went back and listened to it again. And, if anybody's listening to this that has not checked out that podcast, listen to the Caribbean Cove episodes.
When they found that shit on the stair, dude, I find that at the Boston store though.
Yeah, right. Literally, that is
I
something that would be at the Boston store.
There was dude, 2 days in a row just last week, Monday, or I went back Tuesday and Wednesday, and there's just straight piss right there, and the
But
whole stairwell smelled like fucking piss.
yeah, and they go, there's something on my wall, and I can't
Yes,
tell if it's blood or sperm.
yeah.
I
I,
was,
I actually last week I thought I came across some sperm ridden undies on the floor.
where at?
It was on the 6th floor at the very top. The other guy found him and he goes, "Hey, Rob, you might want to bring some gloves." And I
Oh,
seen it, right? And I had a bag with me. It had that white. And I'm like,
what am I touching?
I had to, I always have extra gloves and
That's
stuff.
like a double glove situation.
Oh man. At least, well, I used the one because we got gloves that are really good. They do give us like top-notch gloves. I
Yeah.
mean, it takes like a straight slice of metal to actually cut through
Oh,
these things.
okay. Yeah,
Mechanics. But
that
you're
would do
right.
it.
You got a thin one, you better put two.
Maybe three in that instance.
Oh, dude, man, that was one of the I found other things to use condoms, things like that.
I used to deliver there. I've been up there.
Oh, and then people go, well, why are these stains here? And I'm trying to like, doc, it's like because man, for 15 years, people been shitting on,
uh,
dogs been shitting on, pissing on, we people too, like it whatever else, it just happens, floods, it's just there, and like you're asking me to come clean it after being here a year, it's almost impossible.
yeah, I mean, it's not. You got to get something new. You just got to replace it. Basically, that's
That's
just
really it, but
now.
who's paying for it in the end?
Exactly.
Not me.
No, hell no.
So podcast brought us together.
Mm,
Podcast
yeah.
literally have you seething. So when you dropped that name to me, and I was just talking about so much with my wife last night, and she knew you were making a podcast, and I was like, I never told you the name of it, right? And she goes, what's the name of it? And I said, just Mez it around, and she goes,
That's perfect.
I said, I just knew it. I was like, oh God. I was
I
like,
always use. I always say it like out loud and stuff, and then I
mhm,
was like, that would be like that's my title.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's exactly what I'm gonna do on it. It's just gonna be kicked back, no filter,
Hmm.
kind of like yours. Not as
Yeah.
good as yours though, but
Well, dude, you have so much more potential. I have to be still what somewhat controlled with the sports environment and the people that watch a lot of the podcasts and things like that.
yeah,
But they know when they get into these episodes right here, they know that this is more raw. They
yeah,
see
yeah.
the explicit tag and they're like, oh, he'd override. But that's what really got me back. It took that Jimmy G speak. I mean, I don't want to bring the Raiders up, but we're gonna
Oh,
talk about sports at some
me
point.
too.
The Jimmy G episode was the actual breaker for me, dude. I was so angry. I went into that night down by like a half a point with Devonte Adams. I'm like, dude, he just needs to catch like a 10-yard pass.
What game
And
was that?
it was one of the late night names. I can't even remember right now. I think I did probably when they played the Jets or something stupid. If they even played the Jets. Yeah,
Yeah,
it literally, but the episode exists. It says go to it says that it's the catwalk is calling your name, Jimmy G. And he could not get it done. I lost that game. But what was funny
Uh,
was it was that episode I just freaking lost it. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with
yeah.
this stupid shit. Ever since they posted him on the front of fucking GQ when he went to San Francisco, they tried to make a damn role model out of him, and they tried to
The
make
next,
a
they want him
freaking
to be the next Tom Brady.
yeah, and they want him to be a model, right?
Uh-huh.
He
Yeah.
forgot how to play football. Apparently, he went to your
Oh,
team and stunk it up and got sat for McConnell.
yeah. And as soon as he got sat, things started changing it up a bit.
Right? Like all of a sudden, Devontae Adams goes from 6 targets, 1 catch,
Yeah.
7 yards, 6 yards
I
to
mean, the
actually,
numbers were astronomically. It the difference between them was insane.
it, well, I mean, that's what happens when you get your star players the ball, right?
Exactly.
So,
And it's you think of Jimmy G, you're a veteran, you're supposed to know how to do this. You're not doing it.
yeah, you came from San Francisco. You did throw the ball to Debo a few
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
Kittle a few times. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, go out there, chuck it to your dude, stop
Mhm.
underarm and stuff. Like, I just think sometimes people get hurt too much.
Me and
And
my dad and my uncles watch the games and we'll be
mhm.
like, does he even know Devontae Adams is on his team? Does
Yeah,
he even know he's out there?
it
You know? Oh,
is. It was frustrating because like that's like I said, you think you're gonna win the game, and then you go into that game, and I'm pretty sure you were close to that game too. And
mhm.
it's just like the non-usage of that. But talking about all these podcasts and things and what you got planned for the future and everything going with that, that's why I kind of sent you that the Angel Vivaldi
That was
stuff.
good. Yeah, I liked that.
You liked it?
The one that you sent, the one
Yeah,
video. Yeah, damn, dude can play.
yeah. I mean, to play with Nita Strauss too.
Oh, she
That
looked great as always.
her the way she had her haircut, so just damn good, man.
She's is she back with Alice Cooper now?
I know that she took time off to do other stuff. I don't.
Demi
I could not answer
Lovato,
that.
which kind of Demi Lovato had like a whole female band,
Yeah,
which I thought
that's.
was cool. She was doing like a rock and roll thing.
Hmm.
You know,
And who would have thought it was coming? Like I don't actually,
came
honestly, I
out of
didn't even
nowhere.
catch that.
Yeah,
They just like set up like, hey, you
yeah.
know, trying to
Uh,
pull some Vampire Weekend stuff or whatever, or whatever time, right?
Vampire
You
Weekend.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Just because, but no, that's I sent you that because so when I first started my job at Slices, this dude was like, I came around, I was like John Five, Rob Zombie, just done, it's this is what I grew up to, and what I continue to follow Rob Zombie because like everybody else had their bands, like what my circle of friends. I don't know about you, but you were about to answer this question. My circle of friends everybody had their same band, but nobody else was for some reason to like anybody else's band. Did you have that?
no, not really. But then again, everybody I hung out with growing up liked like rap and
Mhm.
or country. At school, there was like I had to be the only Kiss fan there.
See, we never had a country fan growing up, like of all our friends. So, like I said, there was the Megadeth guy, there was the Slayer guy, there was the Iron Maiden guy, there
So
was
you're saying none of you guys have one like Slayer, the other guy wasn't supposed to like Slayer?
no, they liked him.
Oh,
We all liked him, but they would always be like, "Yeah, man, Slayer some stuff, man." And
yeah,
so I came in late to this bunch. So my buddy, one of my longest friends, Dwan, he kind of was like, "Yo, you gotta meet these like circle of game players that I found, video game players."
yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, okay." So I started out with Twisted Sister, come out and play. The first song that I really technically really fell in love with, Leader of the Pack. It was just the
Oh,
way
good song.
D sung it, and at the same time it was the motorcycles that really got me too,
Mhm.
leader of the pack.
Do you
So it
like
was
their Oh, sorry, what was that?
no, they'll go on.
You
Their
like
new
that
stuff?
what was the one album everybody called it a D Snyder solo album, but they had the Twisted Sister name on it? Uh,
Uh, you
it
know,
was so good. It
I
was
won't get that.
something candy.
See, I no, I didn't listen to much off of that because like when I got out of like so immediately I went into Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil at those years. Those were the first two tapes that I really had. And
I
then from there I got into it was Metallica,
mhm.
and then I got into Bobby Brown.
Well, yeah. How did you do that little swerve?
I think it was because Bon Jovi was big then and everything like that, but he was on
Yeah.
the pop
Yeah.
music, so you were listening to pop, but it was Ghostbusters too,
Okay.
and it
All
was
right.
on
Yeah,
our
that was
own.
that
So
time. Yeah.
yeah, he was in the movie. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that kind of did that, and that led me to DJ Magic Mike and a lot of other different musics. But what was really cool is when I got to White Zombie, Rob and the group started actually remixing. So of course, Astro Creep 2000 became Super Sexy Swinging Sounds, which I used to stare at the front of that CD all day long.
I
Oh
think I
my god,
have that one downstairs somewhere.
yeah, I was just like on a freaking hammock, man.
And that's like what you had to go. Those were there was no websites out there to see that
No,
shit.
no, you're right. You bring that up, and that just to dovetail back to Pot of Thunder, when they talk about a lot of the original singers and producers and things like that, I didn't know that because we didn't have internet, and because I kept jumping through
Right.
music
Yeah.
in video games, even video game music. I know Nubeo Uematsu or Yui Matsu, the
Mhm.
guy who does a lot of the Final Fantasy music.
Oh,
So
right. Right. Right.
but like I don't know all the other people. It just like it was something I would get the game
Yeah.
box, throw it away, or something like that. Just
Mm.
get ate by a dog. So for
Yeah.
me, it was
Yeah.
one of those things that just kind of kept, kind of just getting. I didn't know a lot of people, so like people would
Mhm.
be like, "Yeah, man, who do you like?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, man, like I knew Guns N' Roses. Okay,
Right.
I knew Slash, I knew Duff, I knew Axel. I
Didn't
knew
know
like the main players, but you know,
another one of my favorites, Axl Rose.
yeah."
Just such a wild, different kind of breed.
Do you remember when he wanted to fight James Hetfield, man?
Was that on the '90 tour where they
Yes.
Metallica and yeah.
Yes, dude, like he was already fighting like half the bands on that tour.
He was fighting the whole city of what or the whole state of where was the big riot because they were late?
I that's what
Louisiana
it,
or something, and he started like a giant riot,
yeah,
and they weren't allowed to come back to the city for like just up
dude.
until recently.
See, that's why sometimes we gotta have these episodes live because like you get down there and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
and this is one of those things because this is when I was into rap. This is when I was into Bobby Brown. So like right then I kind of was like I was still listening to my metal, but I was also infusing. So I like when I brought up Rob Zombie, it was like he took dance music and made it more industrial
yeah,
because and then put it in with those things. So that kind of like led me into like I was already into DJ Magic Mike and stuff like that. So just huge music influences. You have huge music influences too. Name a few that
yeah.
we haven't mentioned about.
Oh man. Okay, so Kiss, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, who would be my number two? Probably. All right, Rick Springfield would probably be my number two.
Okay. I
There's
like that.
the silver guitar up there. That's a signed Rick Springfield guitar.
Ooh,
When I
see,
met him.
you got stuff, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, this is why like your podcast would be so amazing. And that's why I wanted to show you Angel. So he
Mhm.
talks all day in his Discord, but when he goes live on Twitch, he'll just sit there and people are just chatting away, and
Yeah.
that's just making him money. And then he just starts playing, and people can like throw, they can throw down biddies to buy the points so that they can make
Yeah.
him play a certain song. And I could see like eventually you evolving into something like
Yeah.
that
It's
because making
definitely
music.
something I could do.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not putting you on
All
the
right. No,
spot,
no, I know. I know. Yeah.
but it's something you could do. I can't do that. I can
Mm.
talk sports, I can maybe talk betting and stuff like that. I can't whip out a keyboard and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you watch me play video games on Twitch, but sometimes people don't care.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
But no, that's my number two guy. And then Journey, Beatles.
okay. See, I
And
didn't have a lot of Beatles
mm,
exposure when I was
yeah, my
growing up.
grandpa got me. I think that was probably the first band I ever heard. My grandpa would be watching me during the day and put the little
Hmm.
cassette player in his truck. And I
Yeah.
think Beatles for Sale or something was the first
Okay.
album I had heard. And then my mom got me into Rick Springfield. That's kind of we actually went up to Niagara Falls to go see him. We were front row this past
I
October.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely. I remember seeing that too because, dude, you do a lot, and we're gonna get into that. But like you talk about doing all these like these band members and seeing different things. So you brought up like so my parents. It was
Uh,
Elvis, mamas and papas, because my parents were hippies. So it's how it went, and it was like my early years is like CCR. So my dad was a huge American Werewolf in London fan. So Bad Moon is something that's always stuck with me too. It was real like my early roots were CCR and stuff like that. I didn't really find Kiss until like I knew about Kiss until it was really that those moments when they came to Erie, and then my daughter really put it out. So that was crazy. Did you lose connection? You still there?
There we go.
I, I got you. I had it paused. It happens, dude.
Did well, I missed everything you said.
I said so. My early moments were a lot of it was Elvis, Mamas and Papas,
I
and
was a
so
huge Elvis fan growing up.
I like my favorite song is "Don't Be Cruel" of his. Don't
Yeah,
be
but I
cruel.
like If I Can
Be
Dream.
right.
It's a good
Yep,
one.
yep. And I like all the hits and stuff. Like you can go Suspicious Minds, things
Great.
like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
the end. I mean, you could go Jailhouse Rock, Blue Suede Shoes.
Well,
Everything like that.
actually, here, I'll show you this real quick.
Uh-oh. Got a podcast exclusive.
Just started collecting these. It's a little Elvis, little Funko Pop.
That's awesome, dude. I didn't think about getting an Elvis one. I started collecting those too.
Yeah, I love them, man. I got it's my whole shelf over
I
there. I got
see it over there. I see Gene.
Devontae Adams, the whole Kiss, LeBron, Boba Fett's in there,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Axl
Yeah,
Rose, Batman.
that's awesome. They're just so fun, and like
They
sometimes you can
are.
find the right thing for $5.
Yeah, yeah.
Skip the pizza that day, man.
Exactly. I'll just cook for myself, and there we go. We're saving money.
It is, and so that was like that. It was like Mamas and Papas, and then like CCR. I was getting that CCR. Like so, my dad loved American Werewolf in London and Bad Mood Rising, of course. So that, and even today, the other day, like my wife and me. So one thing we do a lot of is we do late night dance sessions and things like that in the kitchen. The other night, dude, I just literally played like almost every CCR song, and I was sitting over there with like Fogerty and stuff. I was like, "Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's why I love that Hey Tonight." When I think it was Andy played it, or was it Nick? It was Andy that played Hey Tonight, I think. But anyway,
I think it was Andy. Yeah, yeah,
I kind of missed that song just because
yeah.
radios don't play that backlog, the deep cuts that we talked about. And I was like, dude, I loved that song. I was like, I just went home and I had to play it for my wife that night.
I have to check
Hey,
that out
tonight we're playing
tonight.
this song, baby.
I might have to check that out again.
It's just a good
Yeah.
vibe, good things and stuff like that. So you take a lot of trips to Vegas. You do
Oh
a
my God.
lot of things with your family. You are very family oriented,
Yeah,
friend
absolutely.
oriented. I noticed this over all of the years of being friends with you. What is it, man? I mean, I can tell you have this lovable vibe about you because
Oh,
that's what's
thank you.
got us together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, I just, life's short. I'm just
Mhm.
here for a good time, and that's what the podcast is gonna kind of be like. It's just gonna be, cr- I'll have friends on,
Yep.
just kind of like my life.
Talk about it.
Talk to people. I know musicians, I know realtors, I
Mhm.
know cops, judges. I mean, I can go all over the place with it, and it's just kind of through the people that I've met through the years, and it's, anywhere I go, I
Oops,
trying
sorry
to.
about that. I'm here.
Oh, you're good.
Keep going.
Trying to make connections wherever I go.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. And that's what I love about podcasting. And
Hmm.
so you already have a lot of those connections. And through podcasting, I found a lot of those connections too. So you're gonna find so much more.
Hmm.
And that's what, going back to Angel and things like that, just being able to introduce new music to somebody that,
Right.
you got to listen to that Martian Winter, dude. That's
Yeah, I got that queued up. I'll listen to it tonight. You
yeah,
sent me that. Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Like he just does it, and it's nice to see somebody like him. And like, and I don't want to bring him up again, but I will. It's like DJ Magic Mike and this other guy Locksmith. He's like one of my favorite rappers. These guys have literally talked to me forever. Like
Hmm.
Simon, Elite Force, he goes by. I followed him since he was a lunatic calm, and I only found out about that song because of Need for Speed 4. It was Roll the Dice.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
The
and then
video
of
game.
what's that? Yes.
Yeah, I used to have all. I loved Need for Speed. That used to be my shit.
Dude, it's just the best, dude. And so much like I have so many of them still owned. And I went PC for a while, just kind of just to because the PC had more cars, more upgradability. And
Mm.
like he Need for Speed 4 High Stakes actually took all the boards from part 3, put them on for the computer, that is, put them on the PC version of part 4. So you could just go back and play all the boards from 3 with all these new cars, upgrades
What one
available.
was three? Was that Hot Pursuit?
Yes, it was.
That's the one I had. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. Dude, I
Played
will tell you,
hours.
I played that for hours with my best man at my wedding, John, dude.
Yeah.
With that was the jam that we played. That's one of the games that like it defines almost like me and him. We'd just be sitting there and be like hot pursuit because it was about getting out. It was out running the cops, man.
What's funner than that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Grand Theft Auto has taken that to the next level. But the first time you could outrun a cop in a
Yeah.
video game,
Yeah, exactly. That was like the first. You could be a little wild in a video game, you know?
dude, they put down the strips. You could knock them and they would fall
Yeah.
and explode, and you
Yeah.
just be driving. You'd be like, yeah, man, this is wild, man. Music was
Yeah.
getting good at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a good little radio playlist on
Hmm.
that game. That was pretty good.
Oh, dude, some of the songs on that game. So again, Lunatic Calm. There's a song. It was one of the menu songs called Callista on Need for Speed 4. That was another one that really got me. And Test Drive 5 opened up a lot to like Pitch Shifter. They had the one they did. It was one of the songs they did for Mortal Kombat as well too. A Fear Factory. They had a Fear Factory song on that. It was Cars. It was the remake to Cars, and then they had Reanimate by Fear Factory as
Yeah,
well too.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's some old school stuff.
that is. That goes way back.
That's like Marilyn Manson era and like Fear Factory. I remember my buddies were singing Fear Factory the one time, and they just kept saying, "Oh, persistent." I was
Oh
like, "What?"
God, that's. I gotta go now. I have a whole list of things I gotta go back on later tonight, just from this, and that's how I get my music too. You know, just through
Yeah,
other people, and I'm always looking for new music or
dude.
new.
So we talk, all of us, we talk to Andy, Nick, and Chris and stuff. So I caught them on this one. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but this one's gonna get you really good. So did you know Arsenio Hall had a rap album?
No,
He used to call himself he used to call himself Chunky A and
Chunky A.
Chunky A. And this is about the time when Eddie Murphy was
Yeah,
party all the time.
yeah.
So, and the one song that he had, this is like mid 80s, it was called Dipstick. And the chorus was, let me check your oil with my dipstick. Let me teach you some new tricks.
Why doesn't that surprise me though?
Yeah, because he was a comedian. The whole CD,
Yeah,
I went back over the whole CD, just remembering because we had the tape back then. I don't even know how my sister got this tape, mind you, but she was older than me. So I was like, all right,
yeah.
I don't know who gave you this tape, but you need to stay away from them, sis.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not,
yeah. This is a no-go zone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. And we're sitting here doing that, like, and that, but there's, I think there's a song on there called Your Breast Stank or
I'm gonna have to check that out.
you got it. It's freaking wild, dude. It's just insane. But like
Uh,
just stuff like that. I brought that up because I was talking to Krista one day. I was like, bro, you gotta one day on one of these on these Februaries, you gotta bust this out on somebody, man. Like,
yeah, yeah.
or maybe that's more Tom Jones, September-ish. I don't know.
Tomber. I've got yeah, I'd put it more in that category, I think.
It would. So we're getting down to the last 4.5
Yeah,
minutes here
that
and
went
things like
quick.
that. We could talk for hours, like you said.
Really good.
So, going forward and everything like that, what, this inspiration, of course, comes from the pot of thunder, your friends, knowing a lot of people, knowing that
Yeah.
you can create content. You
Mhm.
talked earlier that you have been already doing graphic editing, which already puts you into the area that you need all your little fronts and fonts and stuff like that. Like I go with
Yeah.
my base. Sometimes I have enough time, I can make little cool. I will make one really cool for this one too, because the episode name is actually Mezz-A-Mania because it's close
Oh,
to
see, that was
WrestleMania.
almost the name of it too. And then I couldn't. I swear to God, I haven't. I've been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah.
But it was
Well,
that was one of the names.
you can always make that a skit on your show as
Yeah.
well
Oh,
too.
I got lots of skits and bits and interviews. There's gonna be a lot. I've been working it out for a while, so I got some
Mhm.
fun off the wall, no bullshit stuff coming. So
That's what I'm talking about,
yeah,
brother. Yeah, the Macho Man's coming at you. 360, nigga. Oh, yeah.
I
I
love
love my
it. I love
podcast
it.
mixer. It's so stupid.
I gotta get one of
What
those.
I literally had it the one day and I went to the male voice and I was like, this makes my Macho Man voice sound like when I was 35. I'm
You could be like the Fred Norris of your show and just do you ever watch Howard Stern?
not often. I know Hansi because of Busted Open.
On the oh, there's a guy on there that does all those voices and like
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Dude, Hansi one time called into Busted Open, which is Dave LaGreca's show, and he fell asleep. And they went to him and they tried to wake him up.
They
They couldn't wake him up.
I don't think he hasn't been on that on Howard in a while.
No, I
I,
think they banned him they banned him at points.
they
That I know.
did, yeah. That was a big thing actually,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 10 years ago or something. Yeah, he might be
Yeah.
on. You're right. I think you're right. I forgot
Yeah,
about
he's
that.
friends with me on Facebook. He goes places and he still gets punked at like wrestling events. They will like kick him out just for he being him. I'm like, it
I
fucking
love it.
sucks to you, bro. Hansi. I know her disrespect. He's never showed me any disrespect. He's
Yeah.
always talked to me,
No, I
always
see.
treated me cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I like the guy, but
I
it
like
just,
what he did on that show. It was good.
yeah, he was, man. So that's so going forward, everything you got your podcast. Do you have any social media? Do you have your Twitter set up or Twix, I
Yep,
should
yep.
say?
Let's see. I actually have it right. My I'm on Instagram.
Yep.
Mezman 777 three sevens, another Vegas thing. Um, I just had them all up here. Twitter Ace Mez 3, Facebook Ace Mez, and then of course I'll be making some separate ones for the podcast once we get closer to that. I'm
Oh
aiming for
yeah.
summer,
Yep.
so
That's perfect.
yeah,
You know, and we'll get it all together with that too as well. There's just a lot of things. That's why I like Spreaker and the format because once I post something, it literally posts on iHeart,
yeah.
Apple. I don't have to do anything. It just goes boom on every single device, man. It makes
Mhm.
things because we're busy guys. We can't just be
Yeah,
sharing to every
yeah.
single place.
Waiting for it to upload and everything.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
Oh,
All right.
TikTok too, Ace Mez 3. So there's
Oh, TikTok.
some good stuff on there. I
I
like
think
those.
I gotta. I don't know if I follow you yet, but I gotta follow you because I know you a
Yeah,
wild
yeah.
man.
I'll send you the link.
All right, we'll get it together, man. I want to thank you again for taking
Yeah,
time out of your
thanks,
day
man.
and coming on Bring the Pain, man.
Good
Let's get
time.
this thing, man. We're not going to be messing around
Yeah,
because you're
there's no.
just messing around because
That's
we're going to
right.
do the Mezz-A-Mania, bro. You got this, man. You're going to
I
do it,
love it.
dude. We're going to get this. You. All right, man. And always remember to bring the pain. Have a great
Always,
day, man.
everywhere I go. Thanks, man.
Yeah.